Hello, I am the narrator, and before this episode begins, Maddie and Dr. Von Schneemann will be talking about brownies, and not the delicious dessert. Without further ado, let the show begin. Good morning, everybody. My name is Maddie, and today we'll be talking about Thimbletack, also known as Brownie or Boggart, whenever he gets angry or frustrated at someone. What is it? And did it come from a movie or a video game? Now, Thimbletack is a small little creature that has a lot of abilities, actually. He can shapeshift, he can teleport, he can go invisible, and move stuff with his mind. Thimbletack, or the brownies, are basically like secret caretakers of the house it lives in, and you could probably hear one skittering around if you listen close enough. Now, Thimbletack was featured in the movie Spiderwick on Netflix and probably other places. And the movie is a story about 3 kids and a divorced mom, period, question mark, and we're not really sure, but there are like details that would support that idea. Moved to a hand-me-down house in the middle of nowhere so they can live. On the first night, one of the main characters start hearing sounds coming through the walls, and through further investigation, he actually find an attic where it's like a secret office with all this crazy stuff where he finds the book. And if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. The book. The one thing that manages to be the problem and the solution at the same time. But anyways, finds that, and Thimbletack tries so desperately to stop him by, putting a note on the book, terrorizing his siblings, that kind of stuff. The good old stuff. And then, whenever they start figuring out that the goblins that are trying to take the book and kill everything, they start running around looking for help. First the daughter of the author, then the actual author. And every time they do that, they put the book in jeopardy by taking it outside of the home where it's no longer safe. And to one point, some of the pages were actually ripped out. Most of it was just like junk, observation of the forest type things, except for one, which happens to tell them the goblins how to get to the house so they could steal the book. And whenever the kids get back, they realize, oh no, there's pages missing. They start boarding up the house with weapons that can easily kill goblins, and boarding up the house so it's difficult for them to just bust in through the walls. Sorry. And then, night comes, the big fight comes, all the main characters are killing all the little minions until, that wave's over, and then the big boss fight comes in, where the big guy busts in, and, that boss fight is mainly just the one kid with the book running around the house and eventually going on top, trying to avoid him. And then, it ends with the giant boss being killed by his one fatal mistake of turning into a bird, which a smaller creature would then eat it because he loves birds. The interview. How close is it related to the inspiration? Hello, I am Maddie, and today we're going to be doing an interview. So, tell me, what do you do?
Hi, yes, I was one of the CGI makers for Thimbletack.
Uh-huh. And how did you want to portray this character, Thimbletack?
We wanted him to make him like a paranoid guardian of the book, which is a great way to kind of transition some of his moods so that he can easily become the Boggart.
Ah, and what about Boggart? How does he fit into this?
Bogger is one of the forms that Brownie takes whenever he's angry. And he becomes angry quite often.
Thank you for watching. This has been Maddie with the interview. Now back to the main video. Alright, so Thimbletack is actually a fairy. So with that bit of knowledge, we salvaged through the internet looking for things that he might be, and Brownie resembles Brownie. Yep, that's right. The folklore names the exact same thing, and for good reason too. They are very closely related. A clip of the character. And are there any Easter eggs or hidden things? Also, in the description is a video clip of whenever one of the main characters first meet Thimbletack. And I don't really know what age group is watching this, so there is one cuss word, and I'm sorry. Well, you're up next. You know, I never thought I'd see the day when this happens. What do you mean? The fact that these character from the movie and the character from a myth are so similar. Yeah, I thought we were gonna have a hard time figuring out what Thimbletack might be. Good morning, everybody. My name is Dr. von Schneumann, and today we're gonna be talking about the brownies. Where the legend/myth came from. Information about the creature. Now, these little fairies come from Scottish lore. And these brownies are basically like nocturnal maids. Now, most of them are in fact male, but they do come out at night and like, you know, pick up tasks or do chores. The brownies like to do chores or work mostly with the animals rather than like any other chore. How it looks, what powers or abilities does it have? Most stories will say that the brownies are creatures shaped like people that are very ugly and short. But others will even go far to say that they were tall or had one finger for each hand. And then it stays the same by them still being ugly, of course. They normally wear very poor clothes, like a servant. Brownies have the ability to turn invisible and shapeshift. You can also shapeshift into a scary creature if displeased. Yep, you guessed it, the bogger. The bogger it won't throw just a tantrum. No. It will do some more dramatic things like abuse animals, start to make some of your food go bad, and hide some of your items. Is it mortal or immortal? Where does it live? Brownies like to live in other people's homes, also like in the walls or in unused rooms, like a squatter, because they like houses that are already normally clean or tidy, and like houses that also leave food out for them. And if he, or I guess she, does not like living in that house anymore, or he was spotted by a human, then they will just flat out leave and find somewhere else to live. An interview. Are there any sightings of the creature? Hello, I am Dr. von Schneumann, and today we'll be doing an interview. Tell me, good sir, are you the author of The Shoemaker? Yes, that is correct. Can you tell us a little bit about the story? Well, to put it shortly, my story is about a man that is a shoemaker and wasn't really making a lot of money off of it, but he was very persistent with it and continued to make one. One day, he set everything up the night before so that he can get a good rest and start working on the shoes. Well, when he woke up, to his surprise, the shoes were already done. And a customer came in and gave him a fair amount of money. So he did the exact same thing for the next day. He got everything set up in the night, then went to sleep, and voila, the shoes were made. And this kept going on and on and on for quite some time until the wife had the brilliant idea of making some clothes for the little elves that were actually making the shoes for him. And so they did. And this is one of these stories that are a good ending. So the little elves loved the clothes and continued making shoes for the shoemaker. And where did this story idea come from? Well, I heard a long time ago, it was a Scotland tale, I believe, that every house had one of these little brownies in them, and that they would always do chores or pick up tasks that people have dropped early to go to bed. And basically, whenever people wanted to keep them, they would put food out to please the little dwarves, and that's basically how the story went. Thank you for joining us. I am Dr. Von Schneiman, and now, back to the main video. Who they hunt for, how to avoid them. After hearing all this good stuff about the brownies, you would think that it was a good thing, or at least a creature to have in your house. But they do in fact take damage from holy water. I said that like it was in a video game. Also, if it does happen to turn into a bogger, there are one of two things you can do. First, you can try and make peace with it so that maybe it can turn back into a brownie, or you could just move out of the house. Just go find a new one. Any questions? So I have questions here, and this time there's two, so I'm not tricking you guys. Do they hurt people? No, but they do dislike people that are lazy and will often play tricks on them. Are there other types of brownies? Yes, there are. There is the, what's it called? Ersk? I think that's how you pronounce it. Which is basically the very identical, except this one, Ersk, lives outside of the home, like maybe in a waterfall, and does chores outside of the house, whether it's has to do something with the yard or with animals, that barns or whatever. Yeah. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you are fascinated by Thimbletack and the brownies, there are links in the description that go more into detail about the information we found about them. If you've enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. Without further ado, have a nice day, and good night. And good night. This is the end of the video, end of the video, end of the video. Pew pew. End of the video, end of the video. This is the end of the video. Pew pew. Pew pew. Pew pew. End of the video, end of the video, end of the video. Oh oh.